with Patricia Mukhim, editor of Shillong Times, and we are here to discuss the Mizoram election results. Patricia, big change in Mizoram. The party that got Mizoram its statehood, the Mizo National Front, has been defeated. It's a big upset. I don't think they were expecting to be defeated so decisively as well. And it's usually been a two-party state between Congress and the MNF, and now a third party has come up on tops. It's the Mizoram People's Movement. And what are your first thoughts about this upset?
It was expected, even the poll predictions were such. It's because people were tired of the same old party and they haven't seen any progress on any front. And Mizoram is a fairly young state. People have aspirations. People have a lot of. They look to the government to create the avenues that are necessary to take the state on a trajectory of progress, of development, but they don't see it. A lot of young Mizos who've been trained outside, educated outside, skilled outside have come back. And when you talk to them, they have come to set up shop in their own state because they feel that they need to be role models for others. And they are very hardworking people. Also, when I spoke to a lot of them, they said, we've had the Congress for so many years, we haven't seen any difference. There was a lot of corruption. The MNF came in, we also didn't see too much progress. So now we want to give the ZPM a chance, the Zoram People's Movement, because it has resonated very well with them. It feels as if it is their party. It is a people's movement, no?
Right. So what did the MNF actually do wrong? I mean, it seemed as if Zoramthanga was checking all the right boxes, Mizo identity, also solidarity with the Kuki, Chin, Zo people in both Myanmar and as well as in Manipur. So it did seem as if he was on a kind of a ticket that resonated. These are issues that resonate with people. And he was also in alliance with he's part of the NDA government at the center. So that is a government of development, of infrastructure building, of skilling, of opportunities. So what went wrong there?
I think the Mizo people are not happy with the NDA government or the BJP and its policies. In fact, one of them resigned, saying that he doesn't want to have anything to do with the BJP as a party. It's seen as a party that is anti-minority, and perhaps that's one of the reasons why even MNF got rejected, because they had a tie-up with the BJP. It is... we keep hearing about these atrocities on churches, on Christians, on Muslims as well. It doesn't give a very good feeling, There's a sense of uncertainty, a sense of insecurity as to what will happen if this party really has a footing in the state.
Yes, so I think the BJP itself has done better than the Congress. It got 2 seats.
Yeah, it got 2 seats at least,
so
yes.
How do we explain that?
We have to look at the larger picture of how the Congress is performing in the 7 states of the Northeast. It's been lifeless virtually. I look at my own state of Meghalaya. There are no sort of people's. You used to have these block level meetings there that you would have MLAs from the Congress speaking out against corruption, and it's not happening now. They've all become reticent. I don't understand why. And see, the Bharat Jodo Yatra never really came to India's Northeast. It stopped somewhere. And then with no funds, we know that running the party is also, it doesn't run on goodwill. You need a lot of funds to mobilize the party at different levels. You need to be encouraging the party workers. Nothing of that is happening. It's just gone into a sort of a cold freezer, sort of, it's just frozen. So uh, but people never really expected the Congress to do so poorly in Mizoram.
Yeah, it's the party that actually had this peace agreement with the MNF, and in a sense instrumental for having given Mizoram its statehood. So do you think also there is a generational shift in Mizoram itself, that this is now a forgotten thing, the whole struggle for the Mizo struggle, and that the 1987 peace deal, is all this not now an issue at all?
See, these were issues at one time, but every generation looks for a slice of development. You don't want to live in the past. You don't want to live in glorious histories of the past. You are looking at the present, and the present is not looking good, which is why Mr. Lalduhoma's first interview today, he said, is that he's going to bring in financial reforms and he is going to tackle corruption. We've seen in the past how corruption had stenched the names of some bigwigs, former Chief Minister Lalthanhola. So many of these RTIs were done, and people were generally fed up. And I think this is the vote of the younger generation now, voting for the ZPM, voting for change, voting for something more substantive, not just, the run of the mill promises. Because to bring financial reforms, one has only heard this time from this state. Nowhere in the country, in no state has any chief minister said he's going to bring financial reforms. And we're all looking at what that is going to mean for the other states.
Yeah, I'm just going to come to that in a minute, but I want to take you back to what you said about the BJP and the perception of the BJP as an anti-minority party in a state in Mizoram which is almost entirely Christian, and almost entirely tribal. How did the Manipur, the crisis in Manipur, the conflagration between the Meiteis and the cookies, the violence, that also played out, that also had an impact in Mizoram. So was that an issue in the election at all?
That was not an issue because, see, the Zo people and the cookies call themselves Cookie Zo, which means they are of the same native thread, the same migration route. So there isn't, that didn't become an election issue at all. In fact, the election issue was of building a greater Mizoram that would include parts of, the Zo people's districts. So
From Manipur.
perhaps, yeah, yeah, which they think is something they had lost. Now,
So
this, of course,
is this something
these,
that the ZPM has promised?
no, I don't know that they promised it because it's a tough goal to achieve. But you know how it is, word of mouth, a lot of oral thing, because we are essentially an oral history people. A lot gets spoken, through word of mouth. But that was what somebody said today to me, that it may bring that, that dream might come true of a greater Zo land.
So, Mr. Lalduhoma, as you said, has promised financial reforms. So, and he's going to tackle corruption. So, who's he going to target? Are there any targets, political targets that he has in mind? And what does he actually mean by financial reforms? You yourself said that you're going to wait for that to unfold, but do you have an idea what he means by that?
No, because you see, his first target was also the farmers, because in this region we have almost about 80%, between 67 to 80% of people who are still doing farming, and they're doing farming not in a very progressive way, not using modern machinery. So it's basically subsistence farming. Probably he wants to bring some change in that, and probably wants also to reverse the all the evil that has happened due to palm oil cultivation. There was palm oil cultivation. It did a lot of damage to the land. Maybe he wants to reverse that process. But these are the few things he had stated to the media that he wants to bring in, to sort of make the farmers, to make farming his priority.
When Jairam Ramesh spoke about the ZPM, he said, and I quote, that it is a party with no program, no organization, and no ideology. He also said that a vote for MNF or ZPM is a vote for the BJP. So is there a likelihood that there will be, a joining of hands between SPM and BJP?
Look, Mr. Lalduhoma has been very clear that he is not taking help from anyone. He is not teaming up with any other party. They have a clear majority.
He doesn't
And
need the
that,
numbers. Yeah.
yeah, and that was what people voted for. If he goes against the people's mandate, then I don't know what's going to happen to him. Many people think that, in these small states which are not economically viable, many times the state governments are compelled to be with the governments that are ruling Delhi.
Yes.
I don't know if the ZPM will be different. And for Jairam Ramesh to say all that is fine, but what is his party doing then? What did his party promise? Why didn't people buy those promises?
Mm-hmm. And, this is, he also said that this is not the time for experimentation, but the Mizo people have decided that this is the time for experimentation, I guess.
Yeah, every voter has the right to decide what sort of government they want. Maybe they've had enough of all these has-beens, these are political has-beens, and they want to experiment with something new, with younger faces. Well, I think they should be given their 5 years of time to prove themselves, because if not, then they'll be out. This is what elections are all about.
And the two constituencies that the BJP won, one is called Palak and the other is called Saiha. Is that a BJP stronghold? What makes them different from the rest of Mizoram?
I can't really say anything on that, see, because elections in India's Northeast are not party driven by any stretch of imagination. They are very personality driven. People have never voted parties. People have voted personalities, and of course, the party makes a dent if it has a good face to show to the public, So it's the winnability factor.
And
Maybe people have faith in those two people that they have elected from the BJP. Yeah, it's not the BJP per se; it's the face.
And Mr. Lalduhoma is a former Indian officer of the Indian Police Service.
Yes.
And this is going to be a new thing for him. He hasn't held a position in government, in office, in elected office before. Yeah, he's been an MLA and he's been an MP, but not in an administrative position before. So how do you see this challenge for him? Is he going to live up to people's expectations?
Well, that's in the future. I can't predict that, but he has administrative experience, having been in the police. I'm sure that he has some experience of what it is to be an administrator. Uh, but he has been saying that he will be guided by his team. And I think he is very carefully selecting his team, which is why only he is going to be sworn in tomorrow. And then after due deliberations, is going to form the cabinet team.
Thank you so much, Patricia, for being with Aawaz South Asia today. Thank you for all your insights. Viewers, if you're watching this and if you like this video, please press the subscribe button and follow us on aawazsouthasia.com. Thank you.